This presentation is brought to you by the Center for Global Peace Through Commerce at Dominican University. The Center is one of the three signature programs of the Brennan School of Business, where the Center is one of the university's 6 centers of distinction. The subject of the module is water. Issues associated with water clearly present us with some of the most important challenges facing humankind. We encourage you in conjunction with this presentation to read the article Water, the New Gold, a link to which can be found below. This presentation is the introduction to the educational modules to be used in your classes to understand the issues related to water. Let's hope that Ismail Sarageddin's quote doesn't prove to be prophetic. Because of his credentials and work in this area, however, his comments need to be reckoned with. His outcry was given a lot of attention by CNN and Newsweek and was frequently placed on the front burner of policy debates. The severe droughts, as well as the number and intensity of forest fires in western states, including Colorado, California, Arizona, and Texas, demonstrate the severity of the problem in both environmental and economic terms. So what are the objectives of these modules? We will be discussing the importance of water and the global issues related to water. The documents that are included with this presentation packet are related to economics, corporate social responsibility, marketing, and accounting. Why is water important? Obviously, water is vital for the human body to function. For example, while a human being can survive 30 to 40 days without food, a person will die within 3 to 4 days without water. The United Nations recommends that every individual requires 20 to 50 liters of water a day in order to carry out the basic needs such as drinking, cleaning, and cooking. The following video, Water Changes Everything, was created by the nonprofit organization Charity Water, which brings clean, safe drinking water to people in developing nations.
Water. It's life's most basic need. But there's a water crisis in our world right now. Seriously, a crisis. Nearly 1 billion people live without clean drinking water. It's happening all over the world, especially in developing areas of sub-Saharan Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. It's a water crisis because it starts with water. But water affects everything. Education, health, poverty, and especially women and children. Let's look at a family caught in the water crisis. It's likely they live on less than $1 a day. When they're thirsty, they can't just turn on the faucet for a nice cold glass of water. They don't have a faucet. Instead, the women and children go off to collect water. Many walk up to 3 hours a day to the nearest swamp, pond, or river to gather water that's been sitting out in the open, exposed to all kinds of germs. Time spent gathering water is time they can't spend learning to read, write, earn an income, or take care of their family. Some women in sub-Saharan Africa spend more time collecting water than any other activity they do in the day. And the walk isn't just hard, it's dangerous. The women are alone and burdened with 40 pounds of water. Many get hurt. Sometimes they're even attacked. When they make it home, the little water they've collected isn't clean. Some families know their water is contaminated with germs that cause diarrhea, dehydration, even death. But what choice do they have? Kids, especially babies, are affected most by these germs. About every 19 seconds, a mother loses one of her children to a water-related illness. And each day, almost 1 billion people are living this way. Until they get a little help. The water crisis is solvable. There are solutions. Some are brand new and innovative, like water filtration systems. Some are age-old, like drilled or hand-dug wells. These solutions bring clean water much closer to the people who need it. A safe water project near a village restores hours each day to a person's life. This time, it's opportunity. It's freedom to go to school and get an education, to work or start a business, to raise a family. Africa alone could save 40 billion hours each year. That's the entire annual workforce of France. Clean water means less disease. That's less money spent on medicine, which means more money for books and school uniforms. And if the water project is built near a school, it can increase attendance, especially among young girls. The water crisis is vast, but we can solve it. Just $20 can provide one person with access to a clean water project in their village. And this will mean more than clean water. Because water changes everything. Join us.
The chart you see is from the World Water Assessment Program from the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. It's a breakdown of the global distribution of water. From all water sources, only 2.5% is fresh water, which is to say water that is consumable by humans. Of that 2.5%, over two-thirds, 68.7%, is locked in glaciers and thus virtually inaccessible, leaving only 0.8% of the world's fresh water available for use by humans, animals, plants, agriculture, and businesses. Why is this breakdown of the distribution of water so important? Simply put, it determines the top 3 global water issues related to conflict and peace. 1. Access to and distribution of water. 2. Water scarcity. And 3. Water pollution. This is a photo of a woman in South India who has to walk 3 miles a day in order to get water for herself and her family. The Joint Monitoring Program for Water and Sanitation is the official United Nations task force to monitor progress toward the Millennium Development Goal related to drinking water and sanitation. JMP has noted that 11% of the population of the world still has no access to clean water. This, in turn, results in conflicts internally and externally with businesses that invest in an area or country. We will expand upon this topic of productivity and business concerns in subsequent modules. Developed countries are not immune to difficulties with access to water. Even in developed countries, limited access to water may be due to natural disasters or depleted water reservoirs. In this photograph, taken in Colisland, Ireland, 60,000 people were cut off from access to water because engineers ordered water to be turned off in order to replenish depleted reservoirs. Another issue is water scarcity. Climate change, mismanagement of water resources, lack of rainfall, or all 3 together frequently lead to sustained droughts, with agricultural regions being hardest hit. This image, taken in Orissa, South India, is an example of water scarcity due to drought. This video will show you the effects of drought in Padampur, India, which has led to the reliance on government to distribute water from nearby wells.
Padampur in India's eastern state of Orissa. As mercury soars over the Indian subcontinent, the town in this drought-prone area is facing a severe water crisis. The water supply to the town comes mostly from the Ong River, but the river has dried up and residents here are struggling to cope.
There are lots of problems because of the water shortage. The water tankers provided by government departments have given us some relief. Without them, there would be no water anywhere. People are quarreling over water. Sometimes we don't get any at all.
As people go about their daily lives under the summer heat, there simply isn't enough supply to meet demands. The groundwater level has shrunk from 160 feet to 230. Locals collected water in any available container as the administration began distributing water from wells near the town.
It has not rained since September 2008. The Ong River has dried completely. There are around 3 or 4 deep bore wells outside town, so we lift water from there in tankers and supply it in the town.
The government has promised a more effective plan to ensure all those affected have a steady water supply, but it has yet to materialise, and the wait for water continues.
The last of the 3 water crises that we've identified is pollution generated by industry. This photo shows pollution being dumped right into the water supply by a textile company. Examples of companies that have polluted China's water resources include Levi Strauss, Burberry, Guess, and Zara. Water has become the new gold. Subsequent educational modules will assist you with understanding current and past water issues related to businesses and help you to determine and uncover positive outcomes for people to have access to clean water.